What's up, everybody? It's me, Jennifer Cotton, the childless millennial, and this is my very first YouTube video. I got this idea a couple of weeks ago while I was at Disneyland for the very first time while with my friend. She's a little bit older. She's not a millennial, and she saw a t-shirt that someone had on that said childless millennial, and she was like, what is that about? So I started explaining to her where that came from, the article that was written about it, about the lady who was complaining about childless millennials being at Disneyland and how she was upset about it. And then I realized, you know what? I'm a childless millennial. I've got a lot to say, and I'm gonna create a YouTube channel and share stories and ideas and things that I feel are relevant to today. I want to hear from you, so in the comment section, let me know what kind of stories you want to hear. Let me know what your likes are, your dislikes are, what kind of music you like, what are your favorite TV shows, what are your favorite movies, what kind of music you listen to, what kind of music you like, what kind of music you don't like, and what kind of interviews you want to hear. I'm going to be sharing a lot of stories from my time living in Los Angeles, working as an assistant in the Hollywood entertainment industry, as well as some personal stories about how I got there and things that I've done since that time. So a little bit about me. Like I said, I am a millennial. Most of my friends are millennials, and most of them by now do have children. So I have two brothers. One of them has two children, and the other is a childless millennial like myself. So we do have that in common. I love being an aunt. I get the best of both worlds. It's like I'm a mother, but not really, because I give the children back. And I enjoy my time living in Silicon Valley, and I love being in LA. I miss LA a great deal. I go down there quite a bit. I love catching up with my friends out there, and I've got some very exciting things in the works. I am excited to take you on this journey with me. I think you're gonna find this time together with us on this journey very exciting. I'm excited about this journey that we're taking together. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun together. I'm gonna share with you some amazing stories. We're gonna laugh. You might cry. I don't know. Depends on what I share. It depends on what you give me in the comment sections. Depends on what you tell me you want to hear. But let me tell you a little bit more about myself. So I went to LSU in college, and after my time at LSU, I always knew that I wanted to work in the entertainment industry, because in college I interned for Oprah. That's right, I interned for Oprah Winfrey in college, and that's when I knew I wanted to work in the entertainment industry. When I worked for her, I worked as a writer for Oprah.com, and it was amazing. I will tell you stories about that later. But after college, I moved to LA, drove out here with my mom in my SUV, and I came out here with little to no money, and I had no job. But my third day in LA, a friend named Becca called me and said, Jennifer, what are you doing? Do you need a job? I got a job for you. Call me back. Woo! I was so happy because I did not know what I was gonna do, and I was freaking out because I was in a total culture shock. I did not know what I was doing in LA. I knew I wanted to be there, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like frozen. My first day out there, I saw Jack Nicholson in a newsstand. I was like, yes, this is destiny. I'm supposed to be here. When I moved to LA, I moved to LA to be an actress. And that very quickly changed, and I will tell you more about that later. But so my friend Becca called me, and she said, I have a job for you. I called her back, and within a matter of days, I had a job working as a PA on a children's theater play. And you can kind of hear my country accent coming out. I am from Houston, Texas. I'm actually from a small town called Orange, Texas, but when I was about 11, we moved to Houston, Texas. And I've never really kind of had an accent, but when I go back home, I kind of have one. So my southern drawl kind of comes out sometimes. And I worked on a children's theater play. So it was a 2-actor theater show. My friend Becca was the stage manager. I was the PA, production assistant. I got the actors' dry cleaning done. I set up the props. I cleaned up. I did whatever needed to be done to make the play happen. We drove all over LA in a white van and went to schools and went to theaters and just did the thing. And it was so much fun, and I learned a lot. I got to know the city very well, and it was my introduction to LA. Shortly after that, I got an internship at a talent management company. It was also where my friend Becca worked, and she actually helped me get a job working as a receptionist at the same company shortly after I did the internship there. So I worked there as a receptionist for a while, and shortly after that, I got a job working as an executive assistant for this well-known talent manager slash producer. And I will be sharing many stories, as many as I can, about my time working for him. When I started working for him, they called me number 13 because I was the 13th assistant to work for him that year. They said, "We're not going to call you Jennifer. We're going to call you number 13 because you're the 13th assistant to work for him this year. Let's see how long you last, boo-boo." And I was like, okay, we'll see. And I lasted. I lasted longer than any of the rest lasted that year. I ended up getting promoted there. More on that later. And so many things happened while I was there. I had a lot of successes. I had some failures. And boy, when I failed, I failed. And I'll tell you about it. And it was crazy. It was so crazy, man. But I learned a lot, and I have a lot to share. And if you at all have the desire to work in the entertainment industry, if you want to work in LA in any capacity, whether you want to work behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, in the music industry, leave a comment, let me know. I will share as much advice and information as I can with you about what it is that I've learned in the industry and what it is that I think you may need to do. And I'm no longer there, but like I said, I have friends there, and I will share whatever it is that I can share with you, as well as some resources, because I'm highly resourceful. I will give you a lot of resources that will really help point you in the right direction. So, anyway, after working for this talent manager, I went on and I worked some other jobs. And I ended up working at a movie studio. And I always said I was going to work at this movie studio. And it was so awesome because it was a dream come true for me. And it wasn't in the same job that I thought it would be in, but I was there. And I ended up working in another capacity after being in the job that I didn't think I would be in. But that was a really interesting time, and I learned a lot about the corporate world, and I learned a lot about people and how people operate in the corporate world and how to conduct yourself and how to not conduct yourself. So learned a lot about that. Yeah, so I'll be sharing more stories about that. After that, I moved back to Houston for a very brief time. I'll be sharing more about that period in my life later. And then I moved back to LA, worked at the studio again, and then some tragedy happened, and then I ended up moving to Silicon Valley, where I am now. So I've had to reinvent myself, but the passion for the entertainment industry has never left, and I'm working on some very exciting things. We're on this journey together. I'll tell you right now, I'm working on a book. I am writing a book right now, and it's about my life, and it's very, very powerful. And I think it's something that is going to impact a lot of people because it's a story that needs to be told, and it's a shocker. It is something that people will not expect coming from me, a girl from the South who came to LA with hopes and dreams and ended up where I am today. So, not going to get into the details right now because we have a long journey to go, and I have a lot of stories to share. I don't know if you remember the story or remember the TV show True Hollywood Stories, but I have a lot of those to share. I made a lot of friends in Hollywood, made some foes, learned a lot about, nobody has haters. We all have haters, and I definitely had my share of haters. And I can tell you that you're not doing anything if you don't have haters, but everybody has them. So I know everybody's doing something because everybody has them. And the more you do and the more you're about, the more haters you have. But it's not anything to worry about because we all have them, we all live with them, and even haters have haters. So it's nothing to worry about. I will be sharing my thoughts on pop culture because pop culture is a part of my life, and I have a lot of thoughts and things about it that I think we all share in common. And I am a huge Beyonce fan. I went through a period of my life where Beyonce kind of narrated my story, and I know I'm not the only one who thinks that. But more on that later. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Looking forward to hearing your comments. I will be sharing more E-True Hollywood stories, what I can share. And what I can't share, I will hint around it so that you can figure out what it is or who it is I'm talking about. Or at least as much as I can say. So, because I did sign non-disclosure agreements in some cases. So, anywho, so thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. I can't wait to hear from you, and welcome.